I don't think any of them have an effect on the dog. Yeah, they won't interact with the dog afterwards.
Have I ever told you I really like the way you wear your hair?
Finally got something new. My hair? Thank you.
It's very nice and it suits you. Simple. Not like the elaborate hairstyles we wore in Orlais. They involved flowers, ribbons, jewels. One year, feathers were all the rage, and Lady Elise decided she needed to outdo everyone else and actually wore live songbirds in her voluminous hair. The chirping was quite charming for a while, but you must realize, terrified little birdies often have loose bowels.
I don't know which one I feel worse for. Yeah, poor Lady Elise. Let's go that way.
You can imagine what she looked like by the end of the evening. But I was trying to say something nice to you, wasn't I? Oh, forgive me. My mind wanders so. It's just that I feel so comfortable talking to you, like I could say anything and you wouldn't judge me.
Well, we are friends, aren't we?
Yes, very much so. I haven't felt this close to anyone in a long time. I really enjoy your company.
Let's put it down this direction. And do you often enjoy the company of other women?
And what would you do if I said I do? Very much so, in fact.
I'm flattered that you like my company then.
There's no one else I'd rather spend time with. Come then, let's get going. If I recall correctly, you have some important earth-shattering business to attend to.
So, making the first move towards the romantic interest.
Yes? Something you need? Yes? What's on your mind?
Why did you decide to come to Ferelden?
My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it.
What happened to your mother?
Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother.
You were young. It's understandable.
Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dry flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andrastis Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
Alright. Guess we'll be looking out for that flower.
Yes? Something you need? Yes? What's on your mind?
Do you miss anything about Orlais?
I miss Val-Royeaux. Unlike other cities where the people are the lifeblood and the character, Val-Royeaux was her own person, and her people little more than decorations. There was always music in Val-Royeaux, streaming from the many windows, quiet refrains and triumphant choruses, and always Floating above that all, the chant, coming from the Grand Cathedral. It was magnificent.
I've never been to Orlais.
If you get the chance, you should see it, at least Val-Royaux. Of course, there are good things and bad things about Orlais, like anywhere else. Sometimes I miss it dearly, and sometimes I'm glad I'm rid of it. And you will laugh at this, but I miss the fine things I had in Orlais.
What sort of things?
Dresses, fine dresses and furs, and shoes, of course. One can't mingle with nobility with bad shoes, you see. Orlais is very fashionable, almost ridiculously so. But the shoes, living with those ridiculous trends was worth it for the shoes.
As I mentioned earlier, she likes shoes. I think we'll go with this one. Were they ridiculous shoes?
Sometimes. About 10 years ago, all the ladies went mad for shoes with soles as large and heavy as bricks. But it isn't always that silly. When I left Orlais, the fashion was shoes with delicate tapered heels and embellishments in the front. A ribbon, perhaps, or embroidery. In soft colors, of course. It was spring.
That sounds so lovely.
I had my eye on a pair my shoemaker was working on. It was covered in pale blue silk with amber beads on the toe. The shoes made in Orlais were exquisite. Not at all like these clunky fur-lined leather boots you have in Ferelden. Ugh, just look at them.
At least they keep the cold out.
They're sturdy shoes, but sometimes a girl just wants to have pretty feet. Oh, I could talk about shoes all day, but we have things to do, don't we?
Okay. And I think it's like those specific type of shoes you need to look out for.
Yes? Something you need?
Kind of like the flower.
Yes? What's on your mind?
I heard that in Orlais, minstrels are often spies.
Where did you hear this?
Someone told me this a long time ago.
And you believe everything you hear?
Nah, I should have said the book.
Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers. But some of them are what we call bards.
And the bards are spies.
Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are.
What sort of services does a bard offer?
What do you think? They infiltrate, steal, sometimes assassinate? It depends on the bard. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public, they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players.
You were a bard, weren't you? Oh, you said you're to spy on me? Wow. You seem to know quite a bit about these bards. This one doesn't seem as intrusive.
And I should, shouldn't I, after having spent most of my adult life as one? You've guessed as much, I'm sure. But does it really matter what I was? What's past is past.
So that's where you learn to fight like that.
My skills served me well, but the day finally came when I decided to just put them aside. I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry, and when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here.
Sudden end to that.
Yes? Something you need?
Can you teach me to be a bard?
There's an idea. I've watched you, and I do think you'd find some of my skills quite easy to pick up. Let's just go over there, away from the others, for safety, yes? I expect there shall be daggers flying about willy-nilly for a time.
Alright. Now, actually, don't think I'll go bard next. I'll, go, duelist.
Yes? Something you need?
Not to say bard is bad, it's actually a really good one too.
Yes? What's on your mind?
Anything
Of
new?
course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think. Which one?
Okay, nothing
It
new
will
there.
come to you soon, I'm sure. Yes? Something you need?
Okay, we don't want to tell her to go. Let's see if Sten will actually say anything new. That little bit of approval.
Yes. I am hardly surprised. Very well. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. As you wish.
Okay. Let's try win.
What's on your mind?
Are you feeling better now?
Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today.
I suppose you were just tired then, like you said.
I suppose I must be.
Kinda odd.
What's on your mind?
I was just thinking about being a Grey Warden.
Is something troubling you?
Sometimes I wish I could go back to my old life.
A Grey Warden should put aside the person that he used to be. It has shaped the person that he is, but he has become something greater. Grey Wardens have no titles. They owe no allegiance to a king or lord. They cannot serve one people. They must serve them all and protect them all. You are one of the 2 surviving Grey Wardens in Ferelden. You defend all of us, and much rests on your shoulders. It may not mean much to you, but thank you for having the courage to continue to fight.
I will be ready when the time comes.
And that gives me hope.
Alright, some more approval.
Have you heard much about the Grey Wardens of old?
I know that they soared through the skies on griffins. Yeah, the nephew at the beginning said something about that. Let's go with that. I know they soared through the skies on griffins.
Griffins. Alas, that seems to be the only thing people remember from the tales. The mighty flying mounts that bore the Grey Wardens into battle.
Well, I wish I had a griffin.
Unfortunately, they've all passed back into the Maker's hand. So that wish will have to go unfulfilled. It was said that watching the Wardens ride in on their white griffins was enough to rouse a weary heart and put the dance back in the step of an old man. The Grey Wardens were powerful, feared and respected, but they also inspired the common people. I remember a tale that was told to me many years ago.
Does the story have griffins in it? Go on.
The Blight had ravaged the land for months, and the armies of the great kings had amassed for one last stand. As the sun burst through the clouds that boiled and churned in the dark sky above, it illuminated a vast, seething horde of darkspawn, with the archdemon at its head. And it was then, when courage seemed to fail, and all lost to death and despair, that the Grey Wardens came. They arrived with the beating of wings like mighty war drums, and stood before the armies of men.
That's not sound strategy. Why not fling the Darkspawn? Yeah, this one really fits my character.
That's not the point of the tale. The Grey Wardens, grim and fearless, marched forth, ever between the men and the encroaching Darkspawn. They formed a shield of their own bodies and held that line until the Archdemon was dead, and the last Darkspawn lay trampled in the dirt. And then, demanding neither reward nor recognition for their sacrifice, the Grey Wardens departed. When the clouds finally rolled back, and the sun shone full upon the blighted ground, the great kings knew that they had lost no men, and none of their blood had been spilled.
Cunning. This story isn't about a specific battle, is it?
You are observant. This is a tale about no battle the Grey Wardens have fought, and yet about them all. They have always defended us from the Darkspawn, taking losses so we do not have to. People may have forgotten over the centuries, but nothing has changed. This knowledge has been blessing and burden to Grey Wardens past, and now it shall be your blessing and your burden.
Another small purple jump.
What's on your mind?
As a Grey Warden, I'll never lead a normal life, will I?
No, you won't.
I already knew the answer. Don't know why I asked.
Because you were not looking for the answer, but for someone to tell you that in spite of it, you'll be all right. You wonder sometimes, don't you? If your life would be better if you weren't who you are.
No. Well, I wouldn't say I like my life. I mean, my family was just, murdered, so a little.
When I was a young woman in the tower, I came to the realization that the circle would be my life, and I would know no other. Family, love, a simple life. These were things that others took for granted, that I would never have.
And this upset you?
It made me very moody. All I could think of was being trapped in that tower with no way out and no end in sight. I started hating my life and myself, and one night I found myself in the tower's chapel. I was seeking refuge, maybe answers.
It's hard to imagine you as a moody youth.
Well, I was. Dreadfully morose. Surly. Anyway, where was I? Ah, yes, the chapel. I must have looked tearful or made some noise, because the revered mother came out and decided to speak to me. And because I had no one else to talk to, I talked to her. I must have said many silly things, but she told me that the Maker puts us all on our paths for a reason. And fighting our intended course is what causes so much anguish.
And that made you feel better?
I thought the old biddy was full of rubbish. I was 15, maybe 16, and I knew everything. so I left. But I always found my way back to that chapel. And as the years passed, I began to see the truth of her words. We were supposed to be polar opposites, mage and priest. But we weren't. There was much about us that was the same.
I suppose priests have to give up a lot too.
The revered mother had lived in the chantry all her life, as I had been in the tower for all of mine. She taught me that you can find your family in the people around you, that you can love your work and find fulfillment in duty. And there is joy even in self-sacrifice. If you put others before yourself, then their well-being is yours, and their happiness is your happiness.
Won't be easy to live that way.
You can scream and cry and be angry about life as a Grey Warden, or you can accept it and allow yourself to see the good in it. This is your choice.
Another small approval jump.
What's on your mind?
Do we get anything
I
new
will
here?
answer to the best of my ability.
Alright, looks like we're actually done talking to everyone. So, let's see. Who will I end up wanting to bring with me? Alright, let's get moving. Man, both my mages are 9. Alright, I think we'll go
Yes. Yes.
10, and we'll take the
Yes.
heals. And we're gonna head over to Soldier's Pass, a DLC area. Oh, what do we have going on?
I bring word, sire. There are demands from the Banorn that you step down from the Regency. They are said to be gathering their forces, as are your allies. It appears it will be civil war after all, despite the Darkspawn.
This is what we're hearing in the rumors.
Pity. I also have an interesting report. There seem to be Grey Wardens who survived Ostagar. How, I don't know. But they will act against you. I have arranged for a solution, with your leave.
We also see that Howe is
The
working
Antivan
directly
crows
with him.
send their regards.
An assassin?
Against Grey Wardens, we will need the very best, sire.
And the most expensive.
Just get it done.
Alright, we know they're coming after us now.
No end to these.
Okay, what do we have going on here? Honestly, I don't really want you a threat. That is not your job. On the other hand, you need threaten up. You need rock armor. So, oh shit, there's some back here. Oh, let's help this one. Yeah, let's go ahead and help here real quick. Move up top as a group. Oh. Everyone, get on the leader.
I'll get him. Alright, alright.
I'll mark him. Oh, it's still there. I thought it was Alistair. I'm like, where does Finn go? Stun him.
Backstab never hurt anyone.
Oh, nice of you to come down here.
See what you're doing.
Oh, for a second I thought that might be a trap. How many we have left here? Looks like just 2, 3. Okay. Alright, everyone. Join the party.
Alright, alright.
Oh, there's a trap there.
You there.
Alright. Yeah, that's all of them.
Alright, alright.
Just a darkspawn ambush. Need to give him. Now he has a rare case where he actually misses out on a specialization, so he can only get one. I need to check. Okay, we'll all be strength. Now, we definitely want this as well, because he will be up there melee anyway, so even if he's not a tank, it will still be very useful. Sadly, he has things like taunt. Probably get him death blow. Get more of a- Didn't want that on. That's why he was pulling so much. Save that stam. Don't want that. I don't want that. So I see other traps, but I can't interact with them right now.
Now's better than later.
That's the way to leave. There.
Alright, alright. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Another garnet.
Now's better than later.
I believe that's it. grab this elf root and continue on.
Yes?
That up on her too. Alright. My character's face there.
I fell.
Are you alright?
For a moment there, I thought I thought it was all over.
Thought what was over?
Everything. I will explain everything when we are back at camp. Now is not the time.
Well, we'll find out about that later. We're not going back to camp just yet.